What's up? I'm Chris, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Prime 1 Studio half-scale Pennywise statue from 2017's It. And first off, let me start out by saying how incredible of a piece this really is. From the detail that went into the head sculpt, to the materials used for his outfit, down to the detail put into the base, just really all of it from top to bottom. They just really knocked it out of the park with this one. Of course, he doesn't come without his issues, and I will bring those up a little bit later, but overall, definitely an impressive piece. In addition to what you see here, he does come with a few extra real red balloons and an interchangeable left hand. So he comes with two left hands, one that holds the molded red balloon, as I have them displayed here. And of course, I'll bring back into frame this hand, where you can actually tie the string that's connected to the balloon around his fingers here, and display him with a real balloon if you so choose. I will not be displaying him in this way just because it just sounds like a pain having to constantly be filling up balloons with helium every few days. It's just not really practical, but if that's something that you're into or interested in, the option is there. Last but not least, huge shout out to Batman Statue Collector. Thank you so much for having me on. This is a review that I've been wanting to do really ever since Pennywise came in about a month or so ago. So thanks so much again. Thanks for the opportunity. I really appreciate it. Let's dive in. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start with the base, which you can see is a sewer with water flowing out, and of course Georgie reaching out for help, and the famous SS Georgie floating in here. And I will say right off the bat, this is one heavy base. It's quite hefty. It comes in two pieces. So it actually comes in two different halves. So this is the first half right here. It splits right down the middle. And this is the second half, this little round portion here in the back. And it attaches via a very powerful magnet on each side. And that's actually how you fit Georgie's hand in here pretty easily. But yeah, once I had this assembled, I was like, there is no way I want to move this again. It is just very, very heavy. And so we'll take a look here at the water, which is just basically a clear sort of greenish resin. And I have to say, they did a really good job with this. It really does look hyper realistic, and like the water is just going to roll off the base here any moment. So it's just, they did a really good job, I would say, with that for sure. And get some good shots in there. And of course, next we'll take a look at the hand. The first thing that really pops out to me about this hand is just the paint work. They did an incredible job in painting this. It just looks really realistic. And I've seen other hands, and I've had other hands, of course, with different other displays and collectibles and so forth over the years, and different statues. And this by far is the best that I've had so far. They just did an excellent job, and with the raincoat, with the on the arm there, again, just an exceptional job there as well. Moving along here to the SS Georgie. This is just a piece here that actually is magnetic. You just pull it, it just comes right off. And once again, the paint on this is just stunning. And they did a really good job. Just kind of turn around so you can see kind of all angles. And this just reattaches just like that. All right, and so Pennywise himself actually attaches via this post hole right here that attaches to his heel. And he just fits right down in there, and then it's just very snug. Once he's in there, he is definitely not going anywhere. So very easy to do. We'll come around here to the side, and you can see that there are these missing signs. There's three of them. For, of course, the kids that went missing in Derry, if you've seen the movie. And they're attached to this. I guess it's like a wooden pole, is what it's supposed to look like. And they did a really good job with that. So I'll just kind of zoom in. You can see that texture, and man, it's just really impressive. So you have the front facing right here. You have the sewer, right? And then on the back, you have this post, this wooden post, I guess, with these missing signs. So I'm going to kind of, I've got him against the wall here, so it's be kind of interesting to see, but I'm going to bring him around, and you can see there's Georgie, and there's one more on the other side I'll show you. But all in all, definitely, I mean, just for the base alone, they did just an absolute amazing job. So I'll come down here, and you can see the other missing poster. So again, just the detail just in the base alone is just really amazing. It's sometimes I catch myself, this is my office where I work, and I just catch myself looking over just at the base alone, just in awe and wow, even a month later after having this set up. All right, so moving along to Pennywise himself. Now we'll start with the shoes. Now this is all sculpted. Every bit of this is. The only part really that's not are these little fuzzy balls right here on the top. Yes, I said fuzzy balls. Anyways, but other than that, the rest of it is completely sculpted. And from a distance, they look like real shoes. I have to say, like that's my impression. Just from, I'll say, standing about 5 feet away or so, the shoes just look really, really good. The paint that went in, the paintwork that went into these. The sculpting, I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. All right, we'll go ahead and move along to his outfit, starting here at the bottom. This is, as you can see, quite frayed and weathered, like in the movie, like he's been lurking around the sewers for his next victim. And I mean, it's just really thick. It's really thick material. It's definitely not cheap, and it just feels really nice. And then of course you have these little red doily, I don't even know what you call these, but this material here, I mean, this is just, it feels really smooth and just really nice overall. We'll go over to the other one too. Now he is going to take some kind of messing around with to kind of get these fluffed out. The outfit does come a little smushed at first. But with a little playing around, it took me probably about 30 minutes to get the outfit exactly like I wanted it. So yeah, just a little side note there. You have to kind of mess with it a little bit, but it's definitely worth it. Moving on to the legs, again, this is a very thick, almost canvas-like material. I've been very, very happy with it. As you can see, there are these little weathered marks right here, and they're on both legs. And again, it's just, it's not super white. It's not just like a regular stock outfit that he comes with. Just absolutely phenomenal. All right, moving upwards. This is the part where you have to really play with it to kind of poof these out. This part of the pants really comes, move this up here. This part of his pants really come kind of like flat laying of course in the box. So it took me a little while to get this part settled. I still kind of mess with it every now and then, but overall I think it looks pretty good. All right, getting up to his shirt. Now I will say this, this really does fit like a glove around his waist. So once you get him together, like the polystone part of him that's underneath here, this literally is perfectly tailored to this statue. So it's going to take a second or two to really kind of get it on there. But once you have it, it just looks so good. Now, here's his left hand just kind of resting by his side. And one thing I'll point out with the gloves is that they're also quite weathered. They're not just starch white. So I really, really like that. It makes it just look all the more real. So that's pretty cool. And it's that way, as you can see here on both hands. Very weathered look, which is super neat. And just adds to the authenticity, in my opinion. Just that not much more. So again, we have these little doily things. I'm not really sure what to call these, other than, again, more balls, but super cool. You've got this little string that goes around here, or thread. Again, very, very smooth. I'll go up to here to his shoulders, and these kind of, you have to kind of poof these out too. Right here, of course, you have these 3 buttons. These actually do snap in, by the way. So on the inside here, there's a little like, not mechanism, but it's like a little piece that snaps in. And you just snap these in. It's, again, super, super tight. This little belt that, of course, that goes around here that he comes with, this does come off. And again, this fits just like a glove. Now onto his neckerchief, or again, not really sure what to call this, but this little piece that goes around his neck. This material is kind of a little bit more coarse, I would say, as I would expect it to be. And this fit, I mean, it almost didn't get this around his neck. It fit that tight. So it's perfectly tailored to this guy. All right, now to the main event, the head sculpt. Now let's take a look at that. I mean, that's Pennywise. I mean, that's I mean, there's no mistaking that. That's, I mean, you know, I saw some pictures once that he started coming out. You know, once some, you know, certain collectors were getting them in and taking pictures and uploading videos, etc. And I was a little nervous. I almost canceled my pre-order because I was like, you know, to me, it didn't look as good as the prototype. And I've heard that in just around the, you know, collector community and so forth. But once I got him, I decided to go ahead and go through with the pre-order. Once he came in, I was just absolutely blown away. That is definitely Pennywise. There's no doubt about it. I mean, just look at those eyes. They're super creepy. And definitely don't want to. Definitely don't want to be in this room alone at night for very long. I mean, they did it. I mean, just that paintwork on the eyes is amazing. So I'll go ahead and move on to the hair. Now, you know, I will say the hair did come pretty flat in the box. It comes with some foam that kind of cups the back of his head, that matches the hair down. A lot of people had a problem with that. Personally, I didn't. You know, I like the rooted hair look, and I like the fact that I was able to kind of style it to my preference. And it didn't really take that long to get it pretty close to movie accurate, I will say. Now I used to style his hair with, if that's something you're interested in, I recommend using a little beard comb. I'll bring it in here. I purchased this off Amazon. I think I got it for like $7. And you can just kind of, you know, kind of brush through his hair and kind of mess with it and get it to, you know, however you want it to look. And, you know, again, it took me probably 15-20 minutes to get to where it's at now. I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, could it use some more work? Of course, but overall, I'm pretty happy with it. So moving onward to his back, as you can see here, all the way down, just really, really well done. So at the beginning, I mentioned, of course, that there were you know some flaws that he comes with. One of those, of course, being the hair. Again, to me, it wasn't a huge deal. I was actually a little bit more unhappy with the roots that kind of show right here. I feel like there should either be more hair, or maybe this should be painted or something. I feel like they could have definitely done a better job to cover that up. Not a huge deal. Again, you can kind of play with it where you can sort of force the hair forward a little bit to make it not as obvious. Out of the box, that was a lot more obvious to me personally than it was, than it is now, just with playing with it a little bit. So you can cover that out to an extent. You just have to really kind of mess with it. Again, not a huge deal, but I mean, this is a $2,000 statue, not including shipping. So of course, you know, those expectations are going to be high. All right, so moving on to the balloon. Now on video or on camera, this balloon shows up as a lot larger for whatever reason. And I know some other collectors have mentioned that as well. But in person, it's perfect. I will say it's perfectly to scale in my opinion. It looks really, really good in person. And it just fits on this little stick here that travels down to his hand. And there's this little post hole here. That's really the second issue. I feel like they could have definitely done a better job with this. And again, this was another reason why I almost canceled my pre-order, is because I started seeing pictures of this hole through the hand, and I'm like, why the heck would they do that? You know, maybe I feel like there should be a better way. But that being said, you know, once I got him in, once I got him, you know, put together, it's really not that noticeable. If I back up here, you can see, I mean, it's there if you're really looking at it, but you know, just walking in, seeing the figure, you know, or seeing the statue for the first time, definitely still pretty impressive. I will say there's something that a lot of people aren't mentioning in my opinion, and that's that when he first came in, this stick connected to his hand here was sort of slanted this way in front of his face. So the balloon kind of was about right here versus where it is now. And I didn't really like that. I felt like it covered up too much of his face. I went back to the actual pictures on Prime One's website of the actual product, and that's how he comes, with the little stick kind of slanted to the left just a little bit. And so I guess, well, you know, I thought, well, I'll just deal with it, no big deal. Well, as luck would have it, as I was kind of messing with the hair one day, I accidentally bumped this hand a little too hard. It fell, of course, carrying the balloon crashing down to the floor, and inevitably caused it to bend slightly to the right. And it's you know, it's not wiggly, it's not moving, but it's just kind of stuck there from when it struck the ground, which for me worked out perfectly because now it's exactly where I wanted it. So don't recommend trying that at home. I just got really lucky, and in my opinion now it looks really, really good. But again, just a small little pet peeve. I feel like out of the box, they should have had this balloon looking like this from the start, so you could see a little bit more of that facial expression. So I'll go ahead and just sort of zoom in here to that head sculpt a little more. Oh, gosh, it just looks so evil. It just looks so good. And the paint, the lips, the nose, the eyes, you know, the texture here on the forehead, just absolutely amazing. So yeah, so if I were going to rate this this statue, coming down here to the base once more, I give this base a solid 10 out of 10. I haven't seen a base really this creative before, and just with so much detail put into this, I can't give it anything less than a 10. It's just that amazing to look at. The body itself of Pennywise, again, I would give it, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 9 out of 10, and only because of the hand here. I know that technically this isn't connected to the body because it's magnetic and does come off. However, it is part of that display, and I do feel like they could have done something better here with the hole through the hand. I'm not really sure what. I know, I imagine it's probably because, he is holding up the weight, which is not all that heavy, but it's still, a balloon, still a larger object connected to a small, what's supposed to be the string that's connected to the balloon itself. So, maybe that's why, but I still feel like there's something more they could have done there to make it a little less obvious. So I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 for that reason. Coming up here to the head sculpt, I'm going to give that a 10 out of 10. It's just again, the sinister fact. I mean, you look at if you go back and you look at some of the pictures from the film, you go back and you actually look at the film again. I mean, just that expression, they nailed it. And so even, despite the issues with the hair, to me, that's not that big of a deal. I'm going to go ahead and let that slide. So yeah, for that reason, I give the head sculpt a 10 out of 10. All in all, I'm going to give this statue a full 9 out of 10. And again, just because of some of the overall issues I mentioned earlier, which in my opinion aren't that big of a deal. but definitely one of the more impressive statues that I've seen. Now he stands at slightly below 4 feet. I think it's like 3.9, you know, so something like he's almost 4 feet tall total, and that's from base to the top of his head, I believe. So this thing is massive. When he came in and I started putting him together and started kind of, you know, getting the outfit on, the head sculpt placed, it was just, you know, just the enormous. When I back up and look at him, just the enormity of this statue is will just take your breath away. He's definitely the biggest piece that I have for sure. Can I get some more shots in there? So would I recommend getting this statue? And I'm going to say heck yes. If you've got the money, I know it's, you know, definitely more on the expensive side. You have to keep in mind the detail that went into this. It is half scale. I think it's right on the money. Any more, I don't think really would have been worth it. I think he's right at the top peak when it comes to the cost. So I think, you know, 2000 is right around where I would expect something like this to be at. And if you can swing it, I highly recommend it, especially if you're a fan of the films. Super, super creepy. But yeah, I definitely would highly recommend it. And they only made 500. So it is a limited run. But yeah, so there's Pennywise. All right, so that about wraps it up. Thanks so much for watching my review. Had a lot of fun making it, and I know I've said this 1,000 times already, but this is definitely an incredible statue. And if you're a fan of it and Pennywise, especially the last couple of movies, this is definitely a must-have. So very, very cool piece. And again, thanks so much to Batman Statue Collector for having me on. If you haven't checked out his videos yet, go check those out. Like, subscribe. He puts out some really amazing content. Definitely recommend it. And till next time.
Hey guys, thank you so very much for watching today, and if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button right here on the screen and check out these 2 awesome videos. I think you're going to love them. And also please join us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I would love to have you join in all the fun. Thank you guys so very much for watching. See you in the Batcave.